Hello everyone, this here is the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Cozy House Set. It comes with 808 pieces and I built it live on my Twitch channel. It cost me $60, 60 US, and you can hit view products on the video to see where you can buy it. This video will cover just the main official box art build, and then I'll do separate videos for the two smaller official alternate builds. The set comes with 3 minifigures, and in this configuration has a bunch of little side builds we'll cover later as well. In this form, the house has a depth of 6 studs for its walls. You have a small yard on this plate over here, and then a larger yard over here, plus a deck or porch segment to it. This is built up on just regular plates, but the height of the ground is set at 2 plates to be compatible with the modern style of city road plates and also the new plates that they're using for the bases of city style sets. But then they put a layer of carpet on top of that, so you end up with a total height of 1 brick as you get around towards the rear. As you can see, this is completely open around the back to allow you to get access inside and to also see the interior details. It is not built in a modular way. It is not designed to have you be able to take this section off and then swap it over to there. It could have been designed that way, but it actually isn't in this case. That was a surprise to me. And it's not entirely easy to get the roof segments up, so it's not really designed to let you, get additional access through these by moving them around. So you've just got what you see here. Since we're already looking around the back, let's look at the interior details right now. As you go through the front door, the first thing you encounter is the dining and kitchen area combined, which is backwards compared to what I personally am used to, where I've grown up, the region I've grown up in, but it's fine. Normally I would just see this space and this space swapped. You get into a living area first, but it is what it is. You got 3 seats here for the 3 minifigures, a bowl for each, and it looks like there's some tomato soup there. There's also a pot on the stove back there in the corner, which has more soup, and a very nicely built up, but super, super compact low countertop, which also has a sink basin in it that's covered up from one side. And you can see that there are 3 spoons in there for the minifigures to use. Also some dish soap and either a sponge or some hand soap. I would expect that to be a sponge for cleaning work. Upstairs, you got a bedroom here with space enough for 2 minifigures to be posed there. So that's good. So you can have the parents there, and also got just a small end table, I guess, little drawer unit back there, and a lamp. On the other side, there's a bedroom for a child, and that obviously can fit a minifigure as well, with more small details for furniture, a little toy box there as well. And on the back is a print for a painting on the wall. And then this is the living space, which has a fireplace with a little bit of fire in it. Another, you can see that the chimney goes up here. Another print that's fairly common up there on the wall for people to admire. And over on this side, just a little bit more furniture. But you can also see that clearly there are some hinges here, and all of this can be brought together. Just do like so, rotate this around, and it fits in pretty snugly. They even have a little slot going through on this side of the building to allow this overhang. This gutter is essentially what that's representing. They've even got it color coded to downspouts, unless those are just regular architectural columns out there. But they've got the little slot in here so that all works. And this completely changes the look and feel of the whole building, to me at least. And it closes it entirely. You got the chimney goes all the way up. Still have access from the deck. Now this fully becomes backyard, completely separates the yards and makes this feel a little bit more like houses in the region in which I grew up, what I'm personally used to. I do like this small build, this very simple small build for the recycling bin or yard waste bin out here. It could be just for regular garbage as well, but it's such a small build, but it works really well. And they even have a hook to hold that on there. Again, this is the door for the front. You've got a small snail that's up here, although in Lego minifigure scale it's huge and imposing, but we'll pretend that it's just an innocent small thing, not an invasive species that's going to strip the paint off of the poor house. And then they've got a little bit of teaser for the Rivendell set on the roof with the way that the small tiles are placed around there. It's one way of hiding pieces that can be used for other builds, and it's also a way just to add some texture and some additional color. Also notice out here, you've got the the bird house. You can perch a small bird there, potentially with just a couple other pieces. And this here is nicely set up with a couple of chairs as well. Some vines going up with some flowers. And that's about it. All in all, definitely a cozy house in either form. Oh yeah, the mailbox. This is a little bit annoying to me. The mailbox has a stack of a couple letters, but they're always falling out. There's no clutch. There's nothing to hold these in. They don't even go deep enough, so they're constantly falling off. So I'm just gonna casually leave those out right now, and everything else feels pretty good to me. I'm happy with this from every angle. It actually surpasses my expectations. The side builds are worth talking about too, and indeed a lot of folks who have looked at the original images of these focus almost exclusively on the side builds and don't care so much about the house, just the little things. This is the very first time I believe that LEGO's ever done a semi-realistic pistol grip transmitter for a radio-controlled car. So there's the car there and a pistol grip type of system, which is great to see because it's a lot more common for vehicles than the old stick type. This is, I had to be told this, I didn't recognize it at first. This is from Atlantis. It's a squid from one of the big Atlantis sets. That's a cat, I believe, that's just in a seated position, sitting on the ground. You can see the tail there. And, you know, they just did it their brick-built kind of way. I don't think this is supposed to be a plush. I think it's supposed to be the actual family cat that would be alive. And, you know, that's just a creator thing. They do stuff like that. This is a bot or a mech from the Rock Raiders theme. There's a particular set that has one that's like this. You know, it's a driller. It should have a cage right here, but for its size, I think this is rendered really well and has the correct color scheme. Thankfully, they do have that teal available again, which was most recently famous before they canceled it, before they took it off the market. Most recently famous in Rock Raiders, I believe, also used in Life on Mars. This I wasn't able to identify. I don't know exactly what this is supposed to represent. It looks like a loader of some sort to me, but I might be mistaken on that. If you know for certain 100% exactly what this is factually, feel free to check the comment section first before making a comment about it, just to make sure that we don't get just a string of comments that make it seem like all the people care about is talking about this and ignoring the entire rest of the set. Here's a look at the minifigures, who have very nicely printed and very diverse torsos between them that can be swapped back and forth as you choose, and then just regular unprinted legs down here. So dark brown is the color, dark blue is the color, dark tan is the color over here, and those are mid-sized, so those actually have the ability to articulate, but no printing on them. Each one of these has a mug or cup. Interesting choice of a non-mug for one of them. Good prints around the back, very different hair pieces, and do have the print on the side of the head for this one, but no alternate faces for any of these. These are the parts left over when you do the main model build, and there are some nice things in here. Feel free to hit pause if you need to. Of course, no stickers were included. Again, the price was $60 US, 60. It is 60 euros and 55 pounds UK. And for 808 pieces, well, that's a really, really good price to part ratio. The price to volume of stuff ratio is not quite as good. A few years ago, maybe 3 to 4 years ago, I would have wanted this to be 35-40. Yeah, I would allow 40 with all the extra stuff with this build. So they would probably ask 45 from me. Although the creator line used to be relatively cheap, they would probably ask 45, so I'm gonna give them 50. And it still feels like it's pulling just a little bit farther than I personally would like for a creator set. But if I broaden my mind a little bit and think across license lines as well, and think about kind of flattening out how I look at value across different lines, 60 for today compared to what I could get for 60 in some other lines isn't that bad. Especially because there's a good amount of mass here. There's a good amount of stuff here in total. There's a good amount of detail. You know, it's got some density to it. And just in general, I think when I first looked at this, I only looked at the outside. I think I was just looking at initial pictures of it, and it looked pretty good. But this is very good. This is exactly the type of thing that I would like to see a lot more of from LEGO, both houses and shops as well. This kind of size, I think, is pretty perfect. And I kind of wish that the base was more rectangular when it's in its fully open form, but just a little bit of modification, I think, can deal with that. But it closes up completely, which is just kind of a blessing these days. It's something we don't get that frequently, and it has all that interior detail. This is fundamentally really, really good, and it's not difficult to line up these tiles here. I know that's something that people worry about a lot. All you need is a plate or a credit card or a brick or anything straight, and just line them up. It takes very little time. It's not an issue at all. Strangely, they don't show you how to do that in the instructions for this. By the way, the instructions, they give you the manuals for all 3 official builds. They are heavy. The main one is thick too. It's book bound. It's a proper book. A lot of the shipping weight of this thing is just manuals. It's interesting, but all in all, yeah, I slept on this one, honestly. I knew it was going to be at least good, at least more than okay, but it's very good to excellent. There's not a whole lot that can be done to make it better, honestly. So I just want to see more, and I am going to see more, and I'm going to show you more as well, because I'll do separate videos covering the official alternate builds, both of which look interesting, and they're very, very different. I think both of them use a large number of the pieces in the set as well. So I'm looking forward to that coming up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.